I mean, awesome. Yeah, it's we had so much fun getting here and just trying to enjoy the process. And I mean, it's fun coming to the rink right now, and there's only 3 teams left, so just having a blast. And yeah.
Obviously, the game tonight in the West, it could determine when the final starts, and obviously you're still waiting to see who you're going to play. Are you going to be watching that game? Are you going to be paying attention to that one?
Yeah, a little bit. I think, it obviously has an impact on what we do and how we prepare a little bit. But, I mean, it's nice getting a little bit of rest right now and waiting for a team. I think that hasn't happened really yet, maybe once. But, I mean, yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yesterday was kind of your probably last real day off until this thing is over. How important was that? How did you use it? Did you kind of finally get to exhale and soak it in for a second there?
Yeah, I think finally I came to the rink today, my body feeling pretty good, so that was nice. And yeah, I think it's huge just to have a day off and relax, get away from it, not really think about hockey too much. And I mean, it makes you when you get a day off like that, it makes you excited to come back to the rink. And everyone high energy today, and yeah, it was awesome.
As a guy who obviously knows how to score goals, when you see what Bob's doing right now, like, what does that sort of make you think, other than being thankful that he's on your side?
Yeah, I mean, he's on another planet. He's been playing so well this whole playoff run, and I mean, it seems like whenever we need a big save, he's there. Whenever something happens, he gets momentum, he gets it back, and I mean, he changes the whole game for us, and he's been unbelievable. You guys watch it every night, and it's like a brick wall back there.
Carter, this is your second Stanley Cup final. How different is the feel now that, because in this particular scenario, you're like a frontline player on this team?
Yeah, I think that was kind of my goal coming here a little bit. I think I wanted to have a bigger impact than I did. Like when I was in Tampa, obviously I got a really good experience and played in the Cup final. But I think when I came here, I wanted to be an impact player and get to this point with this team. And I mean, I'm so proud of everyone. We've battled really hard, and we have a really good team. And I mean, yeah.
Keeping the opponent out of the equation, would you guys prefer starting like Wednesday as opposed to having to wait until next Saturday?
For us, I mean, it doesn't really matter. I think every time we just kind of rolled with the punches. Whatever happens, happens. Whether our schedule is bad this year or we had a lot of adversity, I think we just take it day by day, and every day is a new day and good day to still be playing hockey, kind of.
Carter, there's been a lot of talk about how good the vibes kind of have been in here all year, even in the bad times. But there were bad times, and then Paul's mentioned that a couple times. Like, it wasn't easy the whole way. I'm just kind of curious, like, I don't know, were there moments in here where it would get dark and then you'd come back the next day and someone would do something and all of a sudden everyone's feeling good again?
Yeah, I think obviously we're a really close group, and I think everyone enjoys being around each other. I think that's one of the main things. But hockey-wise, I think obviously we struggled this year, and I think we're coming to the rink. You would have hope, then you would have doubt, and then you'd have hope, and then it's kind of a roller coaster ride coming to the rink every day. And I think that's what kind of prepared us a little bit for the playoffs a little bit, having the highs and lows. And I mean, you change the momentum so fast in games and stuff like that. And I think it's kind of been like that for us all year. So it's kind of helps us a little bit.
Who are the most important guys in here in terms of like keeping the mood up?
It's tough to say. I mean, you know what? I'd say Lomberg has the highest energy.
That's what I would have guessed.
Always smiling. He's like a energy ball. Always. I'll give it. Yeah. Say him.
Paul's mentioned a few times how much time you've devoted to watching video related to defensive play. How much better do you feel you are as a complete player?
Yeah, I think obviously throughout my career, I kind of try and develop different things, and I think we changed the whole system this year and tried to play a different way. And I mean, you saw it during the year. It took a little bit of time to. A lot of time kind of to get used to the new systems and how to play and what to do in order for the team to kind of be successful. And I think that's what's kind of so great. We kind of went from a different style team to everyone changing a little bit of their game and doing it for the team, and everyone kind of comes together and pulls the rope in the same direction, where in other years there would be guys on different pages kind of thing.
Along those lines, Paul has I mean, we all remember the scene in Toronto on the bench, obviously, but he can be that guy. He can be the funny guy. He comes into post-game interviews and he starts swearing. Like it's just comical with him. How does his leadership style maybe differ from other coaches you've had? Like, why does it work for this group the way he is?
Yeah, I think ever since he came in, I think it was consistent. I mean, I think that was the biggest thing. I think we really stuck to what he says and what he means, and every day his word is what he means. Like he's trying to do it every day. It's not like you kind of have trust in that. And I think, yeah, he's obviously funny sometimes. He knows how to kind of work the group, and he has a really good feel. He's been doing it for, I don't know how long, probably longer than I've been alive. Yeah. So he knows the feel around the room and how to push the right buttons, and I think that's kind of what he's done so far, which is really good.
Thanks, Carter. Thank you.
That is for sure. Job's not close to being done, right? So we know that the hardest is yet to come. So just preparing accordingly and make sure we're ready.
And obviously, the start of the final, the opponent in the final depends on potentially what happens tonight. How much do you guys watch the other series? Are you going to be watching that game intently?
Yeah, I would imagine I'll tune in. It's kind of a little bit later, so it might be past my sons and I bedtime. But I think from a systematic standpoint, they're pretty similar. So you can start preparing, doing little things. But regardless of who we're up against, we know that we know what we're capable of, and we know we got to come ready and do what we know we can do.
Brian, what is Patrick Hornquist's presence meant to the room?
Yeah, it's huge. He's a champion, and I think if you ask anybody around here, he's kind of the embodiment of what it means to be a champion. From day one, since I met Patty, a few summers ago, in the middle of the summer, we were doing some pretty intense things that I would imagine not many people are doing that time of summer. So I think he's a champion, and you can tell by how he prepares, how he carries himself, the type of teammate he is. To have a guy like that around, pushing you, giving you some insight. He's still the hardest worker, in practice. When he's out there, still one of the loudest guys. So, he's an unbelievable teammate, and very thankful to have him around.
Middle of the room, telling guys this is it, or does he kind of pull guys aside as needed and get in their ear a little bit?
Yeah, I think a little bit of both. He's obviously a smart guy who's been around, so he knows, individual personalities and kind of what different guys need. So if he thinks that somebody, it's not right to do it in front of everyone, he'll definitely have that conversation, I would imagine, one-on-one.
Obviously, a lot of intense games lately, a ton of hockey lately. How big was yesterday to literally have a real full day off away from all of this to kind of reset?
Yeah, it was great. Like you said, it's obviously we've had some really tough months here. So to be able to have that day and just step away and just have some peace and quiet. Go to the beach and just kind of, like you said, step away and enjoy the sunshine. It was good.
With that being said, being back today, does this kind of feel like the switch is flipped again and it all starts over?
Yeah, absolutely. But I think, now the switch is built, to stay on for this group. Even though we enjoyed our day yesterday, I would imagine guys are kind of still ramping up.
Got to ask Sasha after last game. I'm sure it was kind of a joke, but mentioned, because Keith Tkachuk came up and said, I think he literally said, he's the reason we're here. So now looking back, was that something you guys talked about in here, or reacted to, and anything like that?
Yeah, he knows what he's talking about, right? It's not like he's a normal dad that thinks he knows everything just because he's watched their kids growing up and playing. He's one of the only dads that you can kind of everybody hears and whether it impacted or not, he was right. So obviously he knows what he's talking about, and I'm sure he's enjoying our style of play now.
Right, kind of a silly question, but what's it like when you get gear that says Stanley Cup Final on it? What's that when they hand you that stuff? What's that?
Yeah, it's cool for sure. You got to kind of stay even keel though, because we're still missing a word on here. So you know, it'd be pretty cool to get that one.
I know you didn't play with him, but what was it like having Yogs here last game?
Yeah,
Did you see him? I mean, he's a presence.
Yeah. No doubt. You know, he's obviously a legend of the game. So anytime you can have somebody like that around, and you know, wanting to be a part of it, obviously we're doing something pretty special here. So, you know, guys like that just have around, and I know, you know, Cap's pretty close with them and stuff like that. So just to have somebody like that around, yeah, it's pretty cool for sure.
Thank you guys. Thanks very much.
Thank you.